Hey everyone, this is Marcus Rodriguez, realtor with the Rise Group. We've always heard about first-time home buyers, and we've never really heard about first-time home sellers. So that is the purpose of my video today, just to educate you as a first-time home seller, whether you're working with a realtor or not, really on the milestones that you're going to be going through when you're selling your home. Now, for simplicity purposes, I'm really gonna just touch base on the milestones, the checkpoints that you're gonna go through, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do some specific videos on each and every single step, really in depth and in detail so you can fully understand it. But again, just for simplicity purposes, I'm only gonna touch base on the milestones of your process. And it's gonna go all the way from pricing your home, to then marketing your home, to then finally getting that nice little check on closing day. So with that being said, let's go on to the first step. All right, so you've decided that you want to sell your home. Awesome choice. So the first step typically with selling your home, and probably the most important step for you to do, is to price your home correctly. Now again, just to reiterate, I am going to do another video just walking you in detail on how you can do it real effectively. But just so you get the little gist of it, essentially what you want to do is just get the homes around you that are extremely similar to yours. If you have something that's identical to yours, even better, and just compare what those homes have sold for. That kind of indicates to you what your home can possibly go for as well. All right, so step number 2 is marketing your home for maximum exposure. So this is going to include you putting it on the appropriate websites, of course, such as Zillow, Realtor.com, Trulia.com, so on and so forth. But what you definitely want to do is you want to take really nice pictures of your home, and along with the nice pictures that you take of your home and the inside, the outside, your yard, so on and so forth, you definitely want to put a nice description to go along with that. All right, so if you did step 1 and step 2 effectively, it's gonna definitely get traffic into your house, and you're gonna have a lot of buyers wanting to see it. Which brings me over to step number 3, and that's managing and coordinating your showings. So what that's gonna look like is, if you occupy your home still and you're still living in it, or if the home is vacant, you're going to want to approve times and set dates accordingly, at the same time while giving them access to the property. But if you have a tenant in place and you're a landlord, it will also take an extra step by having to organize with your tenant at a time that's comfortable for them to allow people to see the house. All right, so once you have people seeing your home and you have a whole bunch of traffic coming through there, the offers are just going to come. You're going to have an offer come in, and essentially what you want to do when you receive these offers is thoroughly review every single detail of that offer. Don't just look at the price, because that's not always the most important factor. You want to make sure you close on this home. So there's a lot of other details. So I highly recommend that you guys take a look at the video that I'm going to do on this step, because it's extremely important that you understand every aspect of your offer for it to benefit you in the long run. Step number 5. You've chosen an offer, you love it, you executed it, which means you signed the offer and you accepted the offer from this buyer. So now what you need to do is you need to wait for that buyer to do what we call a good faith deposit, also known as your escrow deposit, where they put a certain amount of money in as a good faith to show you that they are serious about buying your home. So that typically takes about 3 days. What you want to do is speak to your title company closely and make sure that they've received it. And once they've received it, now you can go on to the next step. Step number 6, and that's your inspection period. So within the first 10 to 15 days, or whatever's agreed upon in that contract, we have what's called an inspection period. And essentially what this is when a buyer has an inspector come out to your home and ensure the condition of your property, as well as to notate any damages or repairs that might be needed. So once that report is done, negotiations or changes to that contract can happen depending on the findings on that inspection report. Step number 7, and this is your lien search and title commitment. And essentially your title company will take charge of this, but what it is essentially a search of your title to ensure that your title is clear of any liens, as well as having any updated information on any liens that may have not been recorded yet. So this is a very complex step. It's a lot of information and complicated to understand, but we're going to go ahead and touch base on that in another video and clearly explain to you how this works and what it exactly is. Step number 8, and that's the appraisal. So the appraisal can be potentially a huge game changer for you in your process. And it's when a neutral party that does not work for anyone, they work for the county, comes out to your home and basically gives their opinion on what your home should be worth. Now, this is recorded with the county and then is given to the lender of the buyer, which then can ensure for them that the buyer is not overpaying for a house. Which brings me over to step number 9, and that's reviewing your closing disclosure, which we also know it in the real estate world as your ALTA statement. That's ALTA, your ALTA statement. So essentially what this is a breakdown of every fee and credit that's given to you, also the buyer. And it's just really to ensure that everyone's okay with the funds and the money that's getting transferred, what you're receiving at the end, so that there is absolutely no misunderstandings at the closing table. Step number 10, and that's your final walkthrough. So, not your final walkthrough, the buyer's final walkthrough. What they're going to do is they're going to come in typically 1 to 3 days before they close on the home and walk through that house before they buy it. They're probably going to look for 2 things. Number 1, they want to make sure that the home is intact and in the same condition they saw when they put an offer in. And number 2, if there is any repairs or damages that were negotiated during that inspection period, they're probably going to walk through to ensure that it's been done and completed. Step number 11, and this is probably going to be everybody's favorite step, and that is closing day. So, pretty simple, that's it. You are done, you're complete, you're a warrior, and you made it. And now you go over to the table, you do your final signatures, and you have finally transferred this property to the new homeowner. You are done.